Picture a world where every human being is an island, isolated and self-contained, each individual alone in their thoughts, emotions and experiences. A world where the human connection, the mutual understanding that brings us together, is lost in the abyss of solitude. Imagine the struggles that this isolation brings, the difficulties of navigating the complexities of life without a guiding hand, without a shoulder to lean on, a world where every setback is a personal battle, every victory a solitary celebration. The joy of shared laughter, the comfort of shared sorrow are distant echoes in this world. In this world, there is an overwhelming sense of disconnection. The world is teeming with people, yet each person stands alone, an island in a sea of humanity. The consequences of this disconnection are profound. Conflicts arise from misunderstandings, from the inability to see the world through another's eyes. The world becomes a battlefield, each person defending their island against the perceived threats of others. The lack of unity leads to a world in disarray, a world where the collective good is overshadowed by individual gain. And yet, amidst this disconnection, there is a glimmer of hope, a beacon that shines in the darkness, illuminating a path towards unity and understanding. This beacon is love, a force so powerful it can bridge the gaps between us, can turn islands into continents, can transform a world of isolation into a world of connection. In such a world, one might wonder, is there any hope for connection? The answer lies within us. It lies in our ability to harness the power of love, to use it as a tool to connect, to understand, to empathize. It lies in our ability to transform our world, one connection at a time. Now, imagine a single act of love, like a pebble thrown into a still pond, sending ripples across the water. Imagine a man named John. Life hadn't been kind to him. He'd been dealt a tough hand, facing hardships that would break many. Yet he carried a heart full of warmth and love, an ember that refused to die out. One day John noticed a young woman seated alone on a park bench, her face etched with worry. He could have walked past her like many others did, but he didn't. John approached her, a stranger in the park, and offered her a comforting smile. He asked her if she was all right, if there was anything he could do to help. The woman, taken aback, shared her story. She was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet, fearing she wouldn't be able to provide for her child. John, despite his own struggles, felt compelled to help. He gave her the little money he had, assuring her that things would get better. He told her about his own hardships and how he had always managed to pull through. His words, his kindness, his act of love brought a glimmer of hope to her eyes. News of John's act of kindness spread in the community. People were inspired. They began to help each other out, to show acts of love and kindness. The atmosphere started to change. The community became more united, more caring. John's single act of love had sent ripples through the community, stirring a wave of change. People started lending a hand, offering words of encouragement and sharing what they could with those less fortunate. It was as if a spark had been ignited, a spark that was slowly turning into a roaring fire, fueled by love and kindness. It was a transformation, a powerful shift in the community dynamic, all sparked by a single act of love. John's act of love was the catalyst, the pebble that sent ripples across the water, stirring a change, a transformation. The act of love, small as it may be, began to stir a change, a powerful transformation sparked by the most potent force there is, love. As this act of love echoes, it begins to connect people like invisible threads weaving a beautiful tapestry. Imagine a single act of kindness, a gesture of love, rippling outwards. It touches the heart of one, then another and another. Like a stone cast into a serene lake, the ripples spread, reaching far and wide. Each heart touched by this act of love is kindled with a spark that compels them to pay it forward, to extend a hand of kindness to another soul. This chain of love and kindness doesn't stop. It keeps spreading, its reach growing wider, its impact deeper. The atmosphere begins to shift, the air subtly changing. Once a place of disconnection and isolation, it starts to hum with unity and togetherness. The once cold and distant hearts start to thaw, opening up to the warmth of love. People begin to understand each other, to truly see each other, not just as strangers passing by, but as fellow travelers on this journey of life. The walls of indifference crumble, replaced by bridges of understanding. The language of love, it seems, is universal, and it's breaking down barriers, one act of kindness at a time. This newfound understanding leads to appreciation. Appreciation for our shared humanity, for our collective struggles and triumphs. We begin to realize that we are not alone, that we are connected in ways more profound than we ever imagined. The realization dawns that every act of love, every gesture of kindness, is a thread in the tapestry of our shared existence. The world starts to transform. The transformation is not loud or dramatic. It's quiet, subtle, yet powerful. Every act of love, every thread of kindness is weaving a beautiful tapestry, a tapestry of a more harmonious existence. A world where love is not just a feeling, but a way of life. And just like that, the world was no longer an archipelago of isolated islands, but a connected continent bound by the power of love. Love, a simple four-letter word, has the power to bridge chasms, unite people, and transform the world. This tale we've journeyed through paints a vivid picture of this power. It's the power of a single act of love that ripples through time, touching countless lives, creating a cascade of positive change. It's the story of how love, in its purest form, can turn a stranger into a friend, an enemy into an ally. It's about how love can break barriers and build bridges, driving out darkness and illuminating the path to understanding and compassion. It's the story of how love, like a thread, weaves through our lives, connecting us to each other, to our shared humanity. And as this connection strengthens, we begin to see a world transformed. A world where kindness is the norm, not the exception. A world more united, more compassionate, a world easier to live in. In the end, it's love that connects us all, making the world not just bearable, but a beautiful place to live.